Do we see the rise of soccer and MLS as a challenge? No, we really see it as an opportunity. I think the biggest challenge that everybody in our industry faces is keeping sports relevant for young kids, making them want to come to games, and making them understand that sports is not just a media property. So we want full stadiums first and foremost. So do broadcasters, because that energy is what makes the product work so well on TV. And so to the greater extent that sports is present and relevant and cool for kids, whatever sport it is, it's helpful. Well, we first see it with our brand. I mean, the New York Jets is a quintessential New York brand, and obviously New York City as a brand in New York is extremely relevant globally, and we really want to try to position the Jets as sort of a quintessential New York experience. And we already see very organically a large number of international visitors to New York coming to our games. Sometimes just in a group of two, sometimes by the busload. And they come from Italy, they come from Spain, they come from France, they come from Israel, they come from Brazil. And they just want to experience the essence of New York, and they know that going to an American football game, and particularly a Jets game, will really deliver for them. You know, it's in its own way like going to see the Statue of Liberty. It's something that is truly unique to America and to New York. So we really want to exploit that. In terms of playing games overseas, you know, I think that would be something that would be a longer term opportunity for us. We're just 5 years into our new stadium. We have, you know, deep economic commitments to the partners that helped us build that stadium, the naming rights partners, the cornerstone partners, our PSL holders, all of whom bought in on an understanding of a determined amount of inventory that they would be offered. And so to start to modify that, I think, would be more difficult. So we view it more as an inbound thing and building our brand globally as opposed to having a physical footprint, as some other teams have done. Can we monetize social media engagement? That's not the question I ask. My question is, can we engage through social media? The beauty of our business is the business model is pretty simple. We know how to make money in this business. What we need to make sure we have is customers. And we view social media as a great way to reach out, as a great way to engage and measure the engagement and know if what we're doing is working. So we don't get hung up in whether we can embed a sponsor's logo in a social post. We don't get hung up in can we package it as part of a sponsorship deal and, you know, get fair value. We, in fact, have said no in many occasions to sponsors who've asked if we could commercialize some of our social content. And we've tried to hold the line on that because we know that anytime we do, the engagement drops substantially. And so we have viewed it really as an engagement play first and foremost. And in that, I think it's tremendous. Social media tends to run to the negative. And so if you just read your Twitter feed, you're not going to be happy with what your fans are saying, but you just have to step back as a professional and understand at least they're saying something. And far worse for there to be nothing being discussed than to have some negativity in there, you know, from the fan base. That's fine because at least people care. You know, love us or hate us. We'd rather that you love us, but if you have to hate us, that's okay. Just don't ignore us. Is sort of our, from a marketer standpoint, that's kind of our mantra. Not as well as we want to, not as well as they expect us to in 2014, to say nothing of 2020. And we're working every day to get to know them better. We already know them very well. We survey aggressively. We do a survey after every home game. We do, with the league office, an additional 4 surveys a year. We do a postseason survey. So we do at least 13 surveys a year. We get a tremendous response rate. So we know a lot. But we don't know everything. And one of the things we're doing, launching this year to get to know them even better, is we're launching a rewards program. So we've been working on this for several years. We're moving away from physical paper tickets. We're migrating everybody to a digital card, RFID card, which will be your access to the stadium. And we'll also, if you choose to opt in, have a rewards component where you earn points for behaviors, just like an airline or a grocery program. And we think that that's going to be a very effective way to get to know a lot more about the specifics of each and every customer on an individual basis. One of the interesting dynamics in our sport is we have a tremendous number of season ticket holders, and many of those tickets have been in families for generations. And there may be 4, 6, 8 seats held under a single account. We only know the account holder of record. You know, in terms of really, we have anecdotal experience because we'll meet people, but in terms of our real data, it drills down to that account holder of record. By doing this, each individual seat will now get its own card, its own account, and so we'll start to really dig deeper into those families and who is actually coming and what they're doing. So that's a big initiative. That is, for us, the next frontier of getting to know our fans even better. And again, they expect us now to know them. They expect us to cater to their individual tastes. It's no longer acceptable to just kind of say, hey, there's 80,000 people here at the game, we're doing what we can. People aren't satisfied by that answer in any sector of our economy now, and that's equally true at a football game. So this is a necessary step for us to really serve people how they want to be served. Every year we give gifts to our season ticket holders, and we spend a lot of time and energy and money trying to come up with cool, fun things that make people proud to be a season ticket holder. It's usually some type of garment or whatever that they can wear with pride and kind of overtly show their status. But it's kind of a one-size-fits-all model. We do something that we think will work for most people. But if we knew that you like the scarf and I like the cap and the next guy liked the T-shirt, we would just get much tighter to giving you what you wanted out of your experience. Another example, actually this very night, 2 blocks from here, we have a season ticket holder event for about 1,100 season ticket holders. It's kind of a town hall, meet the coach, meet the general manager. Great event. We want to know who comes to that. We want to know, we can follow up specifically with those people afterwards. Did you have a good time? Did you feel like it made your season ticket holder experience worth it? Was that something that was unique and justified you investing with us rather than buying tickets on the secondary market where you wouldn't get this benefit? Right now we know these things anecdotally. We just want to be more systematic and deliberate about that knowledge so that we can just tweak these events, continue the ones that work, discontinue the ones that don't work. So those are some of the examples.